Oh, peace to the family, peace, love, and light. Yes, indeed, this is your brother Blue Pill. This is Tough Talk Tuesday. Welcome to another episode. All right. I see that some of y'all is in the building. Shout out to y'all. Salute. I programmed this show for 10 o'clock and then I had technical difficulties. So I have been in the back office attempting to fix what was going on. But I was live on Instagram at the same time, and I didn't even know that the schedule for the show still went through as timed. You know what I'm saying? So I do apologize for the family who showed up early at 10 o'clock. And it's some 40 minutes later. So I do honor you. I salute you. I say thank you for being so patient. But I was working everything out. I got a whole new iPad today to help me stream because my 3-in-1 podcast unit, right? It burned out for some reason. The cord caught on fire the other day, and that system is down because the store that I bought it from, the mall is closed, and I can't send it back to China and get a 1-day turnaround. So I went to look for a webcam, and everywhere that I went, they're sold out of webcams because more people are home, you know what I'm saying, operating their businesses and doing the most on the internet. You feel me? So they don't got webcams nowhere. So my next best option, I bought a new phone, but that won't be here until Friday. So I went and bought a iPad, only to find out when I got home and I put everything together and made flyers and made links. When I clicked to go into the broadcast studio, they was like, we don't broadcast over iPads, So then I had to go back to Zoom, right? Go through the headache with setting up Zoom. And Zoom don't operate the same off of the iPad the way that it does on the desktop. So I said, look, I'm gonna just use my laptop. I got an older camera on the shit, but it's not about me. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that nobody comes and shows up to Tough Talk Tuesday to look at my face. So peace, love, and light to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I'm gonna be showing slides and all of that stuff anyway. So we don't even gotta, stress the resolution of what's going on the visual side of things. All right. But I want to say peace to the family. All right. Again, thank you for joining us. Peace, love, and light. All right. And I figured that, it's better just to have a poor resolution on this particular broadcast rather than to not have no broadcast altogether. It's imperative that we broadcast. These are very interesting times, and a lot happens within the span of a week, right? So we felt compelled to make sure that this episode went down tonight. All right, so what's good with y'all? Y'all enjoying that pink moon? Is anybody taking any time to go out and you know, let's see what they say. I'm gonna read an article real quick while I wait for our brother to show up. All right, just give me 1 second. Close some of these open windows. Boom. Close up some of this. Close this up. Peace. Yup.
Is it Streamlab or Zoom?
The stream yard. Yeah.
It's no good.
It's no good?
Yeah.
All right, let me send it again. All right. Yep. So check. Yeah, we're gonna read on this moon real quick. You know, we're gonna talk about this past weekend's meditation that we did on 4/4. It's global meditation. All right, and this is the brightest full moon of the year, and I would it would be after this weekend. You know what I'm saying? If the moon is any reflection of what the moon was doing on Saturday night, from what I'm being told, then yeah, you know. So let me get into this real quick while I wait for the brother to come through. But before before I do, what's good? Y'all all right out there? Hmm? Everybody good? All right, get into this article real quick. To this article. Mm. Yeah, that site taking too long. That site is taking a little too long. Yeah, but I'll take your word for it. You said the moon is so beautiful, right? Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. With no further ado, though, all right, I want to open up the line and bring my for the evening in the building.
What it do was
You
good.
dig?
What's
My
happening?
shit is in 3G tonight.
Yeah, what's popping, bro?
I said, you know, I chose low resolution over no show any day. I said I really doubt that people show up here to look at my face anyway. So
You never know, bro. People
you
out here
know,
choosy right now. People is choosy right now, so you never know. What's good, bro? What's happening?
that,
What's happening, bro?
hey man, you know, just still on a high from this weekend, just riding this energy wave, and I wanted to read them an article about what the potency and the energy of this moon tonight represents. I'm
Shoot.
getting a lot of feedback from it. Yeah, we know the lunar, the waves, your shit spinning. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
The moon,
yeah.
yeah, the moon effect on the wave could be personalizing type of, you know what I'm saying? Your crown with 360s.
These old things.
Yeah, that part.
These old things.
So this is what they say. They say the full moon in April 2020 will be a treat for stargazers. It will be a special phenomenon called the supermoon, but it's known as the pink moon. It will rise during the night of April 7th. There are many interesting changes this full moon will bring with itself. This is the first full moon of spring, and it can be seen after sunset. It will reach peak illumination at 10:35 p.m. So that was 20 minutes ago, right? While the moon is not going to appear pink, there's a special reason behind that name. It gets its name from the spring flower wild ground phlox, which is very pink and appears in the U.S. during this time of year. To view the moon, it's recommended that you find an open area and watch it rise above the horizon. All right, they're just talking about the visibility. I get that. Hold on, the super moon. Okay. You know what I'm talking about?
Damn, the chose early. You ain't even dropped the link. That's what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn, that's what I'm talking about. You ain't even get into the shit, and I heard the cat. That's what I'm talking about right there.
I'm just trying to get my balls together. Yeah. I'm
Man.
like, yeah. So, you know, yeah. The super moon falls in the sign of Libra, and it will bring more balance in your otherwise out of balance life right now. Says Don Page, a certified astrologer in Atlanta, went from Clark Kent to Superman. The effects it will have will encompass all parts of your life, including your relationship. This might be the right time to find out what are the boundaries you don't want your to cross, as well as reconnect with loved ones. Time to find out what is lacking in your relationship and build a stronger foundation together, one that will see you through not just this current phase, but many more to come. Good advice. This moon is also linked to Pluto and Jupiter, right? God damn. The first one will make you feel twitchy.
Ooh, ooh, that's what I'm talking about.
The first one will make you feel twitchy and will make you want to control your life, something that is difficult to do currently, will assure you that all will be well eventually. You just need to have faith and ride out this phase with ourselves during this time and might have to realign our understanding of all that is around us. That ain't prophetic. Hold on. This page keep jumping. I can tell why. This is also a time for the planet to come back to a balanced position, people rallying for each other. When we are assured within, we can exert a similar influence on those around us. Let me repeat that, because I didn't know that I was going to be doing the beginning dissertation to the program, but this is the beginning dissertation to the program. Assured within, we can exert a similar influence on those around us. While those whose reaction to this time of uncertainty has been untimely revelry, they will also be asked to come to terms with their actions. All right. This time will be a time for us to learn to accept the unexpected changes to show up in our lives. Whoa. And still learn to power through them. It will be a lesson in knowing that not everything can be controlled and that there can be peace when we in stride. All right. The next full moon will be May 7th, and that will be in the sign of Scorpio, which might be an emotional time for many people, urging us to deepen our emotional bonds like never before. Can I get an amen? Thank you. So yeah, man. That's the energy that's permeating right now. And they made mention of Jupiter and Pluto in this past weekend on April 4th of all days. We did a global meditation, right? That they're saying over 2 million people attended. You know what I'm saying? That. But you know, I know what this Law 44 built up to, and it was a wonderful way point on that science during this time. Yeah. So we have you know, physical evidence the Schumann frequency of the planet. It was so powerful. A unified mind of people meditating with a guided meditation. So it was pretty much, you know, singular, primary, like laser focused. And, you know, that's very important to take note of when we talk about our power and our potentiality, because this didn't come from off the planet, it didn't come from a deity. This didn't come from, you know, a divine source, if you will, to say, you know what I mean? This actually came from the people. So the power is within the people, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's one person, but collectively as a unit, you know, and I didn't need to see those people. I don't know what those people's names are, I don't know what their political affiliation is. I don't know what their income statements look. I just know that we tapped into a quantum field, and you know, it was responsible for a shift that I know we're going to see a substantial amount of changes. You know, not necessarily in a short amount of time, but as time goes on, of course, there's going to be what perceives to be challenges. But all of that is just opportunities for you to strengthen your legs. You'll never skip leg day again. I bet that. Okay, Fred the Gospel, Corona
Yeah,
virus.
Fred got the corona.
Damn.
Yep, Fred got the corona.
When he come out of that, I know them bars are gonna be vicious though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's an interesting time, bro. Interesting time. Yeah, Fred got the corona though. I think the
Fred got
corona is I think it's the rite of passage right now though. I think it's in everybody's system. But I think it's the rite of passage to move forward though, for real, for real. I think it's the right of.
everybody's system.
Hmm?
It's in everybody's system. If what I'm reading, this 5G, we do it a disservice by just saying that it's 5G. You know,
5G is the new devil.
it's
That's the new devil. It's always a devil. It's always a new, oh, it's that's the reason this is going on. What if everything that's going on is because of human consciousness? Is that possible? That we create our boogeymen, we create our viruses?
quite possible.
Right? Is that possible? Right? We create our gods and we create our devils and we create everything. I think the next step of human beings is to understand that we are the gods, yo. Like, what does that mean? And that's taking full responsibility of our lives and how it turns out, right? And
Yeah.
and our deity. Hmm?
You know what I'm saying? Hence the fact that like I said, showing people the strength or the evidence of them being able to fluctuate or have an effect on the human resonance, at least that's the beginning step showing where the power is at. Because just as much as people are on trial and people don't necessarily know, because this has happened to good, bad people, rich people, poor people, black people, white people, old people, young people. You know what I'm saying? So people don't necessarily know if this is judgment. How is the judgment being rendered per se? God is on trial too.
That's a fact. That's a
Because
fact.
God is coupled with the people. So during this time, when things happen that people can't make sense of, they draw upon prayer, they draw upon that spiritual power for guiding, for a big homie play. Like, yo, please on this one, I need you. You know what I'm saying? Show me some compassion. Show me give me cover. And when that fails to happen for some people, this is when people lose religion. This when old gods die and new gods are born. You know what I mean? So
They should.
in times, yeah, you know,
As they should.
God is on trial, and everybody's able to bear witness. It's almost like if everyone has cell phones, was running down on Jesus, about to string him up. You know what I'm saying? And everybody was streaming that shit, talking about world star, and they had it on 40 deuce on the jumbo screen. Like that's kind of what we're looking at.
I want to touch on something that you and I was talking about. I want to touch on something that you and I was talking about Americanism, right? And this ties into 5G or whatever. The American experiment was a different experiment in modern history, and I'm gonna speak from after Cataclysm. right? Graham Hancock talks about a lot of cataclysm, right? So after the last global change, right? So this is the American experiment was a different experiment because it was it was away from feudalistic society and the divine right of kings and against tribalism, and it was really focused on the individual, right? That the individual could think for himself or herself. Now that's such a revolutionary concept because the world wasn't like that before. So I want people to understand that the world wasn't the way it is now, right? We take a lot of things for granted, but there was a time in the world where you did not think for yourself. You thought in terms of tribe, right? Uh,
Fact.
the group went left, you went left. The group look up, you look up. Tribal markers, the same identities. So that was going on in indigenous cultures. In Europe, it was even worse because you didn't own land, right? You probably didn't even have rights to your mate. It was the divine right of kings. And
Right.
kings ruled based on a belief that it was a divinely inspired position. You could look at ancient Japan the same way with the emperor, right? And for thousands of years, people lived under these type of dynamics. So the American experiment is a different experiment because it's not governed top down. It's governed bottom up, where a person, male or female, coming from humble beginnings can literally change the world. Literally, right? From humble beginnings, from farmland in Indiana, or Queensbridge projects, or Compton, California, or a coal mining city in Appalachian, West Virginia. You could come with an ideal, and that ideal can change the whole bloodline of your family. It never was like that before. So,
Yeah. Hence the
America,
fact that they would have to make movies like Cinderella and it hit the way that it did because that was a dynamic that was so outside of the scope of reality that it captured people's attention. Today we would be like, oh, that's Cardi B. Like, what's the big deal with that? Like, we see that shit all the time. But this is the unique experience here that never would have happened anywhere else necessarily.
not at all. America is the first place to experience the concept of true love. Here's why. Listen how that sounds. Where you made it based on feelings and not based on obligation. Do you know
Mm.
that's a
You
total
gotta
switch in
explain that.
terms of human history? Okay, for example, in America, a guy and a girl that are from two completely different backgrounds, two different class levels, two different so-called races, and they can go against tradition, against family, against social obligation, and they can do them. It was not like that in the world, right?
Right. Man,
Um,
you didn't have access like that.
no, and you
So,
couldn't just do
yeah.
that, right?
Everything was traditionally binded up, meaning that that woman was accounted for in terms of her marrying within her tribe or within her ethnicity. You know what I'm saying? There's even places on the continent where tribes don't intermarry. And if they did, it's through arrangement and there's an understanding. There's entire ceremonies that have to be done because they have a very key understanding about the mixing of bloodlines. Everything was focused on that particular those particular bloodlines, and as well as the commercial aspect of what a wedding or marriage actually entailed. When things got over here, it became something else. And then we could go and talk about the Edward Bernays aspect of it altogether, how they commercialized weddings and marriage and diamond rings. That's something new. People might think because of Hollywood that that has been accustomed for a long time.
Yo, bro, we about to go in tonight, so make sure you got that Cash App thing sliding through there because we finna go in right with this American experiment. So make sure that because they got to choose up tonight, right? So look, so with the American, and I'm gonna go somewhere with this American experiment so people understand the old world and the new world, because the new world is all about, my name is spelled wrong though. All right. So K-E cash $ KENNY Briz, my nigga. So the new the concept of the individual, right? Where in America, take a woman could curve hierarchy in terms of, you know what? She's okay. So in America, a woman can have two men, one rich man and one poor man that are courting her. The rich man can provide her with the lifestyle that she wants, right? They call that hypergamy, whatever. And then she got the poor man who makes her laugh. In America, for the first time in history, the woman does not choose the rich man. She chooses the one that she has the best time with. So that's a total shift in terms of uh, um, when we started worshiping male deities. Usually, the woman, based on hypergamy, dates up. In America, she doesn't have to choose that. She has a choice. She can make an individual choice. She does not have to marry or procreate based on her tribe or her family, right? In America, a guy, a human being, is credited for an invention, right? Now, look at the old world where land was conquered in the name of Spain, the queen or the king, or in the name of France. You had to give all credit to them. Here, you developing an invention
Right.
based on you and you alone, right? That's revolution. That's
Yeah.
evolution.
Let's say that was an extension of what's called the doctrine of discovery,
Discovery
and the
fact.
doctrine of discovery, right, was put into place. And initially, it was initiated, or the build up to it came by way of Constantine. He was the first one to merge the conquest of the state with the conquest of the church. So when people sprung from that branch and they went forward to conquer, they either did state or they did it in the name of the crown, or a combination of both, because he was the first emperor to bring the church and the state together.
So Pete, so this is why people have to understand the old world and the new world and how it relates to them. So when it's new America, after the indigenous, whatever, the people that came to this land came with old gods. So they came with Judaism, they came with the Christianity, they came with Islam. Uh, um, Africans held on to old forms of African spirituality. Same thing happened in South America. Here's the thing. Americans have created every single thing in terms of thought in a new form and applied technology to it, except God, right? So the concept of Christ is from another land. The concept of Allah is from another land. The concept of Yahweh is from another land, right? It's not American in its nature, right? However, a lot of concepts that we do is American. The way we consume capitalism, hip hop, right? Our cult, the blues, those kind of things are American. We have done everything except create new gods. So in this new world, what we are experiencing is it's time for Americans to create new gods, right? And you're going to put them in the image of people that you revere, because we understand human beings created the God anyway. It's a concept, right? Because the all can be put into words. So that's our best description to describe the power that fuels the sun or the gravitational pull of the moon. You call it God, but that's humans' way of trying to count something. But the all can't be counted. There's no name for the creation, the creator. There's no name for it. You can't put it in a cup, right? So that's our best version. But so it's America's job now to create the new gods. And in order to create the new gods, you need a total cleansing of the old world and the old philosophy. right? The gods that we've been praying to are jealous deities. That doesn't fit into the new world because then we take on that characteristic. The gods that the
Mm.
God that we follow are petty as hell. Even people say it. This is God's way to get our attention. Well, that God's the
I mean,
attention.
yeah, they have personified, you know what I'm saying, a deific force that is not necessarily a quote unquote person. You know, humans have to do that in order to, you know what I'm saying, make it relatable. And based on those particular translations of those texts, it comes out of it. So that's the language that they move with. You know what I mean? But you're right. I mean, a person, technically, they say that look, a nation can rise no higher than its woman, right? Then a tradition system can't rise any higher than its God or its Godhead. And if the Godhead is a God of jealousy, if the Godhead is a God of retribution, which means God is emotional, and we just had this whole conversation. I believe that we did this last week on Tough Talk Tuesday, where we was like, you know, that's too weighty. It doesn't even go into the upper ethers, into the upper realms. How can you have emotions? That's human.
Mm-hmm.
So where does this deific force, who's not only they say on the upper bands and the upper planes, but all the way up? Did this all the way up? It's on the crown. It's together.
Mm-hmm.
Everything emanates from that. Where's all that weight coming from? Where's all that personalization and emotionalism and humanness come from? Those are concepts in man's mind that he now prescribes or ascribes to the personification of a deity force.
The reason why it's time to create new gods is because so we change the dynamic of meaning, right? The reason why we've created these gods prior to feel something, to have something to strive to, because man doesn't know that we are the all. We are the savior that we've been looking for. This earth is the center of the universe, yo, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is why let's look at the Transformers or the Data Earth Stood Still. All these things always come to Earth, the Anunnaki. Why? Right? In the Data Earth Stood Still with Keanu Reeves, it was very interesting because Keanu Reeves represented like a federation of galaxies. Okay. And all those galaxies came here and housed life. Spiders, dolphins, all those things wasn't indigenous to this planet. They were brought here, even the races of man. And the races of man was getting out of order. So that thing
Mm-hmm.
had to come and straighten it out, right? Because man, humans, us, we lack a self-confidence, right? We are looking we're looking outside of ourselves for meaning, not knowing that we are creating this movie. Every single thing in our reality is based on man's thought. A submarine that came out of someone's mind, an airplane that came out of someone's mind. This computer came out of someone's mind.
Skyscraper.
Skyscraper
Yeah.
came out your child came out of your mind. Every single thing that you see came out of someone's mind. There was never a time man was not. There is
Facts.
no such thing as love without man. There is no such thing as God without man. We give God meaning. We give devil meaning. We give angels meaning. Without man's existence, there is nothing. We are the coders of all this shit. And when we realize it, then we'll put our planet in a different reality. Look at the movies we create. Generation, what is it with what was it, Brad Pitt? World War Z. We literally go to film and create our destruction. Where does that come from in the mind? That's a self-esteem issue that we're literally waiting for Judgment Day. Where's it going to come from? Human beings. We make movies about nuclear holocaust. How would That's our own mind We make movies about Godzilla destroying the sky,
Godzilla destroying
King Kong
the sky.
destroying shit, right? Aliens coming here to destroy us. That comes from a hardwired self-esteem. You feel me?
Mm.
So in the new gods, you begin to create heaven on earth. You don't really see too many heaven on earth movies. It's always disaster. Those are the biggest sellers. For some reason, we like suffering. It's part of it's part of our story. We like see people fight. One of the biggest traffic getters on the internet is human suffering.
Mm.
Seeing people do bad, seeing people fight, seeing people die. It's something primal about that. But that represents old gods, because those old gods, all they did was destroy man. Up, Tower of Babel, you're trying to get close to me, I'm gonna destroy you. Up, I'm about to wash away. Why does this God keep destroying man's creation with his own creation? This God is supposed to be all knowing. So you know that what you're creating is gonna go off script. So what it's saying is that this deity fucking can't get it right. Right? You gotta destroy these things. That kind of creation is based on man's self-esteem. We created that concept of God. If you don't praise me, the rocks are gonna cry out. That sounds like a woman. You know what? You ain't paying attention to me? No pussy. Same concept. Same exact concept. If you don't praise me, the rocks are gonna cry out. People even say right now this corona is God's way of trying to get us our attention. Okay, so what happens if we don't pay attention to the deity? It doesn't exist.
Mm.
Right? You're sitting here by yourself, twiddling your thumbs. You know what? Let me make something to worship me. Let's look at that thinking, yo. But we are in America and we are in a new world, and we are responsible now with creating the new gods, not just for us, but for the rest of the world. The new gods are going to come out them projects. The new gods are going to come out from Section 8. The new gods, these lost tribe motherfuckers in America, represent the new gods of tomorrow and what the world is going to be following. We're not going to be following shit from the Mediterranean no more. We're not going to be following gods from places we've never been. That's so idiotic.
I mean, think about it. What you're saying. Even in a crisis like this or a situation like this, there are Eastern modalities that allow the Eastern countries to thwart this particular pandemic off. So they did Qigong, they did aromatherapy, they used certain herbs, right? They did different things that was in line with their traditional systems, if you would. We have Eastern gods over here in the West without any of the modalities that would actually secure us, that are tied into traditional systems that would protect us. So we're Westerners with a Western white mind worshiping Eastern gods without any of the rituals, any of the magic, nothing that necessarily initiates it. So, and then our hearts, for some of us, is all the way on the continent. The brain is in the U.S. The heart is on the continent. Two left feet don't know which way they're going. You understand?
Hmm.
Blood is fighting each other because you got European blood in you as well, right? So you have this internal war going on because you haven't reconciled those two realities that live within one body, right? W.D. Boyce spoke about that.
Hmm.
So we have Eastern, we have gods that came from the Eastern realm with no trappings or benefit from that Eastern reality because we have a Western mind.
Hmm.
And that Western mind is allopathic. So the people are not trained to pick up any herbs. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, that's pagan. You know what I'm saying? You can't touch on that.
Hmm.
So it almost seems very debilitating to be an American over here and not being able to tap into any of the frequency or the benefits that actually come with these Americas. And I'm not speaking political system, I'm speaking about the spirituality of the land. Hence the fact that the indigenous people here say that the creator of this land and the spirit of this land is named Wakanda. Right? So melanated people got close to it, but they still had their vision was all the way on a whole nother continent. Shout out to Horace Butler, man. Can't wait for his movie.
Shout out to
He
Horace
put
Butler.
them gods over here.
Shout out to Horace Butler, who put them gods over here. Horace Butler put them gods over here. South America, in fact.
Them gods over here. The rocks cry out.
It's interesting that we watch the movie The Matrix, but we don't think we're in it. And if we do think we're in it, we only want to apply Matrix to the things we disagree with. But the things we love and agree with, that's not a matrix though, right? So on one hand, we're in a holographic reality, right? On one hand, everything is fake, except what we like, right?
Right.
Except what we like. And so the matrix doesn't apply to things that we have an emotional attachment to. But it does.
That's safe. That's
safe.
This ain't part of that. You know what I'm saying? I need my big body. I need my this. You know what I mean? They're gonna be standing up there telling you about.
The interesting thing for those that, you know what, I got God in my life to do that concept, which you weren't born with that thinking, someone told you about it, right? But it's interesting, no one told you how to laugh. Look at a baby. It already came into the planet with that skill. It was part of the meat suit, right? So if the concept of deity was natural to the planet, you would be born with it hardwired into you. It wouldn't be a choice, because laughter is not a choice. It's a trigger. You find something funny, you laugh, right? Your hormones, a woman didn't pick that. She was born with that. Using the bathroom, you eat food, it comes out. You didn't pick that. It was part of the meat suit.
Right.
Your heart, your rib cage protects your heart. Your spinal cord keeps you upright. You didn't have a choice in that. It was part of the biology. It was part of the chemistry and the engineering of man, right?
The design, right?
The design. So someone has to come to you and tell you about deity, and then you say, "Oh, wow," and they tell you to it when you're a child, and you believe it. But how would you explain your deity to something that wasn't from this planet? If you've seen a mermaid, how would you explain your deity? And if it told you about its deity, which one of y'all is right? If they wind up beating you in war, is their deity better? Because that's how we found our deities. It's always through an act of war. That's the history of mankind. Whoever loses the war loses their cultural deity, because God is very cultural.
Right. The potency of that deity dissipates when you lose in war.
Facts.
Because the gods, once again, supposed to give you grace and favor in battle.
Facts. Facts. So we are under what ideology? Judeo-Christian ideology. Judeo-Christian ideology. Even when we branch off and go secular, it's still rooted in Judeo-Christian ideology. Islam is rooted in Judeo-Christian ideology. They speak of Jesus, they speak of Moses. It's the same thing, but it's from another place though. I've never been to Saudi Arabia. Everything that I identify with is from here, from this land. So why wouldn't I create hierarchy and spirituality and a deity system on this land? That, you understand?
Yeah, I understand.
Tupac, listen to this, because it's going to sound like heresy, but I'm about being historically right. So it's going to sound crazy now, but later it's going to be like, Tupac has did way more for me than Allah. I've seen him. I know his moves. This is not an ideal. I've seen this person.
Right.
Drive-bys an everyday thing. I done lost too many homies to this motherfucking game. That's this land shit. How many, you ain't lose nobody to the game?
Right.
Pac said if you're taking more shorts than getting props, you need to stop. You need to do something else. Why would I take on another land's ideology and that storyline, that matrix that they're in has nothing to do with me? And where I'm at in the world, I know that's heresy, it's blasphemy, but we're in a new world. We're in a new world, and it takes confidence to and guess what? It's not disrespect because you go a different direction as your parents. That's not disrespect. That's the American experience. Is to add on, right? Look at the places that's deeply affected by coronavirus. It's old world ideals. New York is old Jew ideals in terms of how to do business, how to be a landlord, how to be a business owner, right? Those old world ideals are dead. New York in particular is designed for the old world.
New York is the port through which all old world activity came through, not only by way of Ellis Island, not only by way of Wall Street, specifically by the Erie Canal. When they built the Erie Canal through Buffalo, they were now able to merge one part of the country with the other part and create a channel of commerce that actually gave the Americas its vitality on that end. We know what they was doing in the South and all of that. We're talking about how you move trade and commerce. And that happened when they built out the Erie Canal. So New York State, New York period, has always been the centerpiece of the economic model of this Masonic design, which is called the Americas.
That's interesting that you say that because, all right, when you look at gangs in New York,
yes,
gangs in New York is about Irish gangs, right? Polish gangs, right?
Yep.
New York was settled first by the Dutch. They started opening trading posts. John Jacob Astor, one of this country's first millionaires, bought the island of Manhattan for $14. Is that historically true or not?
Yes.
Okay. And on his deathbed, he wished he brought the entire city, right?
Yes.
The history of New York is old. They didn't build their first church until 17 years later after the Dutch settled. The English came, right? But when you look at these old ideals of how to do business, how to live, the way things are set up, New York is the poster child. In fact, New York was the capital of the country before it moved to Washington, D.C., right? Alexander Hamilton and Thomas Jefferson used to have ideological differences on how America should go. Thomas Jefferson was more involved, wanted a more egalitarian society. That's why the slaves on his plantation, they didn't produce anything that exported out. The slaves of Thomas Jefferson's plantation only tilled his property. Alexander Hamilton was an industrialist. New York was the capital of America, the 13 colonies anyway, right? So Spain, Italy, old world ideals, places that was the poster child of the doctrine of discovery. Am I right?
Yes.
Right? The Spanish went where? South America, Central America, Southeast America, Florida, right?
Yes.
What brought them out of the Dark Ages? The gold from the Aztecs.
Yes.
The gold from the Incans.
And the silver. Yeah.
And the silver.
Yeah.
And the silver.
Yeah.
Right? I think it was Pizarro that said, we Spanish have a curse that we can't cure, and that's their thirst for gold. Now understand, those people, those conquistadors in their land came from feudal societies, generationally poor men that never had a property, never could get a wife, never could live like the king. So when they came on those boats and they seen those Tainos and those airwalks or those Aztecs
Right.
and Mayans and Incas, when they seen them with them gold around their necks, they didn't
Rip.
see them as human. They seen them, they looked at that gold because they understand who they were back where they were from. Now Spain is feeling the coronavirus heavy, right? Italy
Right.
is feeling the coronavirus heavy.
North,
What?
North, yeah.
Rome, Catholicism,
North Italy in particular, yes.
right?
Mhm.
What does Rome have? The secrets of the planet, right?
Mhm.
Spiritual capital of the world, right? All of it must burn in exchange for the new gods. It must burn, yo, even if we're part of the burning.
Mm.
Okay, it was good, right? We had a good run, right? But if you're not gonna, if you're, what's the purpose of the coronavirus ending if you're gonna go to the same deity that caused it?
Mm.
Now, this ain't for everybody because everybody can't go. I'm talking about the gods of tomorrow. I'm talking about being historically correct 500 years from now. Not right now. Fuck right now. Right? What do you want people that are not born yet to say about you and the generation you lived in? Do you want to be cursed, or do you want to be revered because you was ahead of the curve? I'm not talking about groupthink. Fuck groupthink. That's old world shit. That's tribalism, right? I'm talking about full accountability and understanding that the world that you knew does not exist anymore. The new normal has not been created yet. The businesses that shut down, they're not coming back.
Mm-mm.
Right? So go ahead, Blue. Go ahead, say something before I go into the new system that's coming in. So go ahead. Okay. So the new system that is coming in,
Let's hear it.
is, a good friend of mine, a good brother of mine. We sat on the phone for 4 hours trying to figure out everything, right? And we made mad predictions, and we both agreed and settled on that this country is going to be a hybrid between me and my guy Zoo, man. Shout out. This country is going to be a hybrid of socialism and a capitalism. Like China is a hybrid. It deals with communism and it deals with capitalism. So, because the people here haven't tapped into their new gods, what they have an old analog mind frame with old gods. People here hate ballers, right? People here hate the 1% because it's been given to them by a white liberal standpoint, right? They think the elite, quote unquote, are on jet skis. They think the elite is somewhere eating grapes with 1,000 women filling on them, right? That's what they think. They hate the rich. Watch where I go with this. The people here hate the rich, right? They hate work ethic. They hate competition, right? Not knowing that the real 1% is live very conservatively, right? The niggers of the elite are the ones you see having ostentatious lifestyle. Okay. What we're going into is a welfare state nationally. Let me tell you what that looks like. It looks like universal health and basic income, right? And in exchange for that, people are going to sign away their constitutional rights in exchange for to be safe, in exchange for not having to work. Now, we've already had experience with that with the hippie culture. We already had experience that with Timothy Leary, okay, and dropping out of society, opting out of society. Black people in particular, new blacks, not old blacks. Old blacks were very conservative and very industrious. New blacks are socialists. New blacks expect maximum reward for minimal production. New blacks see you pulling up in a Bentley and tell you how you should spend your money, even though they own nothing. New blacks have an entitlement. New blacks think not just new blacks, new America. New America, bars. New America is super lazy, right? New America is super lazy. So when they give people the option to have basic income and a certain amount of money every month, people are going to take it, and they're going to use celebrity to sell it. People like Cardi B, people like Diddy. Listen how Diddy talks is real ambiguous about him coming together. And now this is a dude that knows how to build companies worth $100 million. He does not talk to you about that though, right? The Dan Jones doesn't talk to you about that. Don Lemon does not talk to you about that. They don't talk to you about work ethic and success habits, what the day-to-day looks like, not just on some money shit. What about to keep a great body or great health? They don't talk about that. We're in the meme generation. It's not about that. It's not in putting the work or sweat equity. Everybody just wants shit. We want the things that we think go with a rich lifestyle. Hence, a person can't afford it, but buy a Benz. They think that's rich, right? We say looking rich. We think rich is a look, and not a behavior. Okay.
Facts.
So you and I was when we was in Arizona, we went to the reservation. We have experience of people living off a fixed welfare system. And you can look at the reservations as that, right? Now, not all natives signed up for the reservation. Many of them, like the Apache, was like, hell no, we'd rather die. We'd rather die.
Right.
Those that signed up for signed on to the reservation are outside of the Constitution of the United States, right? So we have experience of when you sign over your rights as an individual in exchange.
Yeah, I know what that means.
Shoot, what'd you say?
Can you explain what that means?
What's that?
Can you explain what that means to people when you say that they live outside of the United States Constitution?
They're not a part of America based on contract. There's something else.
Right.
In order, when you and I went to the reservation, how did it look?
Jacked up, like the hood of hoods.
And you know they get fixed income every month, right?
And it was very depressive. It looked very depressed.
Mm-hmm.
The people, when we visited when we visited the reservation, the people's energy and their morale was super low. Alcoholism was at a very high rate. Suicide was at a very high rate. And interestingly, we had went to go work out, right? They had a gym on the reservation. Went out in the gym, and there was a young Native American child. He was in his later teens, maybe early 20s. And he was listening to heavy metal rock, the kind of rock that you'd be like, yo, that shit. You know, the stuff that the army be like, when we want to draw out the Arabs, we be playing this type of music.
Mm-hmm.
He was listening to that, and I was like, yo, what type of time you on? He was like, look, I want to go to the army to get out of this dismal, in so many words, he was saying, this dismal existence that I live in on this reservation. His ticket out was to go and kill for the U.S. military. And I was like, the same people that killed your people? And in so many words, he was like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Pete what welfare does. Look, I'll use my own example. I'll use myself as an example. This is real shit. My first hustle was in the first grade. First grade. My mama was on drugs real bad for a moment, right? My first hustle was going to the supermarket, helping people take their bags to the car. That was my first hustle. I make $10 a day, $15 every day. But at that particular time, I was doing for myself, and I was getting at $1, right? I remember having a EBT card, right? And I didn't need it. I remember grown what that did to my mentality. Now, that was not the way that I was getting it when I was 7 years old. I wasn't waiting for nobody to give me shit. Now, when I had my EBT card, you know what I was thinking? Man, fuck the system. This is what they owe me. Blah, blah, blah. That's what I was thinking. See, I didn't need that. And I was counting that money for next month, right? See, I adapted the welfare mentality of entitlement. On this planet, you eat what you kill. And when you adapt the welfare mentality, it rips you from ingenuity. If the government takes care of you, it robs you of genius. It robs you of serendipity. Now everybody not gonna go. The fact that everybody doesn't go and knows that survive, that improves on the species. So that reservation, again, not every nation
Signed up.
sign that. Some people got it in with the army with the gun. Other people ran into South America, and many of them are what you now call Mexicans today.
Mexican, right.
Especially if you lived in the Southwest. What you're calling Mexicans back in the day, the U.S. government called Indians, right?
Engines, right.
Indians. So we have experience with that. We have experience with Section 8. We have experience in low-income housing. Look how they come in your house when you have low-income housing, especially in apartments. They come, open up the refrigerator, make sure that you haven't made no changes in there. Nothing in there is yours. You don't have rights. You sign over your rights. And who is actually reading the contracts that they sign? Right? Okay. What we're going into is a national welfare state. And people are going to sign over the right to free speech, the right to bear arms, the right to freedom of press, the right to a trial. You're going to sign that over in the name of comfort. Everybody seen the movie Demolition Man, Mr. Friendly Society. Wasn't they social distancing? Wasn't they learning from a screen? They didn't go to school anymore. Claude Anderson talked about the permanent underclass. How are you going to get the permanent underclass? It's going to be voluntarily, because this society follows psychology of Edward Bernays, Maslow, and Sigmund Freud. So to control the people, we're not going to have armed conflict. What we're going to do is fuck the mind and have voluntary compliance. People are going to sign. This form of slavery is by signature.
Oh, slavery by signature.
Yes, sir.
Sound like another book. Write that down, baby.
Slavery by signature. Hey, I've been to the pen before. When you sign, when you go to jail, you got to sign first. They give you a copy of your
fact,
right? Don't you sign?
They get tight if you don't sign, because they can't go forward. They need that signature.
They need that signature to move forward. Don't they ask if you are medical? Didn't the Moors teach us that? Didn't the Moors teach us that?
The Moors taught us a lot that we would be more prepared to deal with now if we listen to the Moors. They gave this whole game up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that signature, that signed nature, that AU that's in your autograph, that's gold. They can't go forward without that signature. But once you sign, everything's out the window. You know what I'm saying? The sheriff straight up told me, 1996, he said, "Nigga, you locked up. You don't got no rights. All that shit is outside the door." So, dirty, you know, in the way that Constitution is structured and set up already, it's understood that when you come under the confines of confinement, that you don't have rights no more. You fall right back into a state of slavery. So, what if that level of consent outside of jail and outside of the bars? Because I said, look, if all of them dudes from David Icke to Alex Jones, everybody else told us this is a prison planet, Well, goddamn it, everybody's in the Bing right now. You in the shoe. You in solitary confinement, right? You in the box, right? So if everybody's already in the box, they already showed you we can walls. That's why they're letting the prison. Because now people is like, yo, they letting prisoners go and sending them in the community, and the parents is, and the folks is like, we ain't even prepared for this. So now they living at home with an inmate that they got to get used to. They got children around. They don't know who this person is, what's inside of this person, and they all doing a bid together. And that person is on release, so they can come into your crib same way as well, because that person has just activated and turned your house into a holding pen. This is unbelievable.
Okay. You got people's living in bunkers, doomsday preppers, right? Because they seen movies and they think that's how the country is going to go, right?
Fact.
To understand the European mind is to understand how this plays out. Felix from Narcos Mexico. Oh, first off, if you don't watch shit, then you're never going to understand what I'm talking about, because I use movies and music as points of reference. Felix from Narcos Mexico said he looks at a thing and sees the ending, right? Study European thought, not skin. See, we've so focused on the look of a white man that's a concept in itself. What about the thought? Now, what's the thought of a European? The thought of a European is to chase food and trap it. Now, if you have to chase food and trap it, that puts you in the realm of psychology and manipulation, because the things that you're eating can kill you. Now, the African does not eat lions.
You don't eat hyenas.
Don't eat hyenas, right? So, and this is not a disrespect in terms of Africa. It's just a proximity thing. The African wasn't forced to problem solve because of the environment. Now, there's theories that Sahara Desert used to be green and lush once upon a time. So if Africans and indigenous people are around the world are living in an environmental oasis, there's a particular thought that those people have not tapped into yet. Meanwhile, the European is living in a harsh environment and has to trap its food. Hence, this is why the gods are angry. Why do you curse me? Look at the book of Job. What kind of culture thinks like that? Environmentally, you have to be going through something. It's storytelling. I have to be cursed in order to live like this. Now watch where I go with this. So the reason why we have new phones, new cars, new everything new is based on what? Constantly having to problem solve, because the environment is harsh. What you're chasing is running from you. So you have to make traps, right? It's about psychology, all right? The old way of warfare is physical. It's physical. But when you look at modern European psychology, it draws from the back in the day, from the Ice Age, based on Sheikh Anta Diop's research. It draws back into the Ice Age of problem solving and controlling people psychologically. Now, Black folks in particular are not psychological people. Black folks are a people of expression, physicality. Everything is physical. It's emotions, right? When you are competing in competition, the psychology is always going to dominate the emotions, because the emotions is physical. It's body, right? It's in line with nature physically, right? So where we're about to go, the new slavery is not a physical slavery. It's a mental slavery. The movie Matrix taught us that. It's mental. But for you to get there, though, here's the real mind fuck. You're going to sign up for it. Now that keeps their occult skills in line, because balance.
It's not karmic. Right.
So
You opted for it.
Their karma is good because you picked it.
Because you signed off on the terms of agreement, right?
That.
Like everything else is taking place right now. When people want to know why the European is so absolved from his karmic debt, is because there was a level of a terms of agreement. You know, you didn't read the fine print. You don't know where you signed up at. You know what I'm saying? Case in point. I mean, but this is interesting, especially in the jails. I'm sure everybody saw the video that the brother sent around, you know, saying that somebody was in a cell dying with him. And, you know, he brought that concept home when he was saying, you know, in so many words, we don't have control of our own bodies. And that is in essence what the Moors have been attempting to teach and speak about, you know, with wards of the states and having the babies in hospitals and, you know what I mean, having those particular documents. Now people are losing people to this virus and they can't see the bodies. The bodies are not getting a dignified burial. They're being stacked up in freezers, hallways, and things of that nature. And then they say, yo, they organ harvesting. I'm saying that they owned the body from when they slapped the little baby on his ass. So are they organ harvesting or are they collecting on their property? You feel me? And that's a harsh reality to swallow. But look how they play in their hand. Look how they've been playing their hand. You feel me? They are one aspect of this corporation is liquidating, and the other aspect of it is collecting all of his debts. And to them, they're like, you know, there's a value that we can put on you that kind of exceeds you living. We know how to run it up with you dead. Makes no difference. And we got your data already. So, and the older people that's dying, they're like, those people don't even participate in big data. So we don't want them anyway. They're not part of our business model. They're not on the internet. What are they doing here? Right? They're like, we're not eating. We don't have a symbiotic relationship with these people. We don't even know who they are. So it's to me, I find it funny that all the while this is going on as well, they got the census going on. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
This is illmatic. This is illmatic, bro.
Look how they walk people
Shout
down. Shout out to who?
Shout out to the Moors.
Shout out to the Moors, yeah. Shout out to the Moors because this has everything to do with.
They gave you the binoculars. They gave you the telescope. They gave you the binoculars and the microscope that you can really see this thing under. But once again, people deviated from the information for whatever reason, and they went in whatever direction they was going. And now, you know what I'm saying? They kind of asked out because of them documents. And you have slave adhesion contracts, and these people are coming to collect on you know. And then, you know, like I want you to go just a little bit further about these checks because I don't want to. I do understand that, you know, people do need that level of relief in forms of the checks that are coming. But what comes at the cost of those checks?
The checks is just the warm up. It's to give people the experience of what it's like to be taken care of by the government. How free you are, how far you are off the hamster wheel. The basic income is the contract.
Right. So your prediction is that they will have people now staying in the crib and just receiving checks monthly in exchange for their personal rights and freedoms?
Not necessarily staying in the crib, but staying based on those boundaries of that area. But that's not the jab or the uppercut. The uppercut is the contract is going to remove people away from innovation and creation. You're not going to see genius come from the darkness anymore, right? Because pressure creates diamonds, right? So that level of comfort is going to turn the mind off. It's actually going to put Black people in their original state of chilling. And we're going to accept it. That's a portion of society. There's another portion of society that is not going to accept it. That's going to stay and playing the game. But you're not going to be, you're not going to have welfare, shit like that. You're going to eat off the sweat of your brow. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be playing the game as usual. It's going to be socialism and capitalism at the same time. This what makes it a choice. People are going to choose that, and not knowing that it's not them
choosing that
is binding up. It's your babies, because your babies now represent the permanent underclass. And it's going to take a messianic force like John Connor in Terminator to remove those people from that. But that's 1,000 years from now. Because the people are going to be bound by contract. Peep it. The Israelites, the story was bound by contract. Moses had 2 tablets in his hand, the 10 commandments, right? Right? That was a contract. That was a covenant. That's example. Human beings with each other were always, our covenant is with contract. So that was a contract with the priesthood, right? This is a contract with the U.S. government. There's 2 ways you can slave a person: with lack and
no. It's still a contract with the priesthood. These are the priesthoods of Americanism, the biggest religion on the planet.
Yeah, for sure. So if people gonna go for it, bro. Now, I was just sharing with you, look how funny TikTok is with this social distancing. You see the rise of TikTok, which was a real app for teenagers. Now everybody's doing it. Now, what makes TikTok so interesting than Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook? It's informationless, right? Facebook, you can share information. Instagram, you can share information in a story or something. You can learn. It's people that have changed their lives off this stuff. Same with Twitter. It's people sharing information, sharing books. What exactly is TikTok? Right? Now, when you think of the Hunger Games, what would Cadmus and them be watching on TV? That would be for a particular type of people, right? Those people that represent the underclass. Because you need something to keep you occupied, and you already have the musical soundtrack for it. Ain't talking about that, right? Niggas want, look, you got medical marijuana and you smoke that shit right now, I got you in a headlock all day. So you've already got the soundtrack, you got the loud pack for it, and you got the internet shit to keep you occupied. That's the matrix, yo.
The loud pack. God damn, write it down, baby.
You got everything. You got everything. Streaming, everything.
Yo, why you say that? My man just sent me a TikTok video. It was my dude. He sent me something saying Sabi made it to TikTok. I'm gonna check it out after.
You know what I'm saying? But that's look at the sound. Look at the soundtrack though.
He monitors TikTok for interesting videos, and he be sending them to me.
You know what I mean? So you see what's happening. You see the walk down. Think back to the Matrix. It's a mental experience. Neo downloaded a weapons program. Neo downloaded martial arts. Ain't that what we do on YouTube? Right? They plug it in the back of his brain.
Yeah. YouTube University. You plug in.
University. You know what I'm
or
saying?
They say you tap in. And then he have a needle that have to tap in, right? Then the needle have to go into the cerebrum and get tapped. So we tap in like, yo, I'm in YouTube University. Niggas watch 8 hours of that shit and they heal us.
Facts.
Next day, niggas get the lab coat, change their name to Sheikh Amun Ra Hotep.
Right.
In front of that shit.
Yeah.
And niggas got CMOS for sale. You know what I'm saying? Like
facts.
That's
what it is.
Yeah, it's the Matrix.
the Matrix.
Same version.
Right? So it's the Matrix. So there's a thing where they're like, yo, the government is trying to control the population or population control in terms of how many people's on the planet. They want to beef up the sheep. Social distancing is going to create what? More babies.
More babies.
They didn't sterilize you and then social distance you. No, more babies. Right? For what though? Not you, not for not us. Like, you're not going to control the population until you produce a group of mindless things. That's how the slavery start. It's not with us. They're going to control our population because we're on the way out. But them right there, that's what it's about. Make more babies during this time, which is idiotic. It's not smart tactically, militarily, to get someone pregnant as of today. That's not a smart thing to do because you don't know the world of tomorrow. That's an old world mentality. An old world mentality says that a human being, no matter what the conditions, is going to fucking have a baby. The world melting, you're still pregnant. Get the fuck out of here. Like, that's control yourself, yo. You need to see what's cracking, right? You need to see what's going on. So the next slavery is 1,000-year slavery, fam. It's 1,000 years. The reason why it's that long is because the people aren't gonna know they're slaves. In the Matrix, Neo did not know, bro. It's like, what? I'm chilling. What you mean?
Like, what? Same as today.
He didn't know.
Same as today. Can't convince them. They be like, what?
Oh no. Right? Everything is good because it's going to appeal to desire. But you don't know that you're not creating, because this is the thing for the so-called elite or whatever. That's just the earth shit. The next frontier is space, bro. So when we talk prison planet, the things on this planet, yo, understand, bro, our way of life is going to be governed completely by AI. Meanwhile, the more refined portion of humanity is gonna leave. Gonna leave, bro. While we're pulling up at the dollar menu, getting served by a robot, we're not gonna even realize what's going on. Not us, but the babies. They're gonna be born into a world of basic healthcare. The government takes care of you, which is easy because they print money with no backing. In the cloud, you don't need nothing to back it. They just printed up $2 trillion out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
So if you could do that with 2, then you could do that with 10. Right?
Yeah, you can run it up forever.
It doesn't exist. Technically, it's in the cloud. Right? It's in the cloud. So that's what we gotta watch. That's gonna happen. And that's the realest saying, everybody can't go. Some people don't want to compete. Some people is good, yo. Like, what? The government gonna take care of me? They don't understand how American free speech is. The mere fact that you can question your president and call him stupid, yo. Do you see my man from the Philippines? Do you see what the policy is? What's his name? Dorothy?
Dortes.
Dortes.
Yeah.
Oh,
you see him? Body you. Yeah.
He said, if you don't comply with social distancing, they're gonna off you.
Oh no, he runs the bodies up. That's what he do.
But in America,
they don't think it was in addicts.
In America, you could call your president stupid and nothing happened to you. You're gonna give that up for basic income. It's speech. The reason why the Negro is where it's at. What would you? There's no Malcolm X without language. There's no Martin Luther King without language. No Garvey without language. All movement in Black America has happened because of the word.
The word has been the Black man's weapon unanimously, hands down.
The pimping. What do pimp use? Words. Rapping. What do you use? Language. Language, yo.
Right. Broca's Area 44, the brain is responsible for language, semantics, music, and perception based on hand movement. All of that comes out of the 44 Broadman area region of your brain, right? So that sword that comes from it, it controls everything. And that has unanimously been the only weapon that the melanated man has had in this country. Take that away, and what has he?
Facts. What that's been the primary. So say people that come from Mexico, their social movement is based on effort, sweat equity. They work hard. Black people is what? Talk, yo. Talk.
Talk a good one, yeah.
Jay-Z is where he's at because of language, fam. It's not a buff dude, you know what I mean? He's there because of language, right? So you're gonna give that up in exchange for basic income every month and the need to feel comfortable, the need to chill, right? I mean, like really zero in on the content that is posted on social media. Like this comes out of people's brains, you know? This is what people thinking about, right? Where do you go from here?
You've been seeing.
Lot of pranks, lot of people.
Oh yeah, they don't.
Lot of people going live saying what y'all want me to talk about. Like they come on live, what y'all want me to talk about? Boredom.
Simultaneous, yeah. Boredom,
right? Boredom. You know what I'm saying? And the now think about it. Think about the lives that are lost in Black America. Really think about it. So you take a Kobe Bryant, had a philosophy. What? Mamba mentality. Mamba mentality doesn't go with socialism. Mamba mentality. You mean work hard? Work hard? It's about philosophy. Humans don't die, philosophies do. First of all, we're not even here for real. We're a fucking vapor in the wind. But what stays is the ideals. So when you take a person away, you take the ideal away. Nip had the marathon continues. What is that? Keep going. That's anti-socialism, yo. Because in socialism, the real crux, the real meat and potatoes of it, no matter how hard you work, you're gonna have the same results as a person that does nothing. So why do something if we're all gonna have the same shit? Now, capitalism has its faults. It does. It's a brutal shit because if you ain't got no money, you ain't shit for real. So capitalism is brutal. But the ill side of capitalism is a man and woman can actually get what the value of their mind, fam. And the money is just a representation of the value in their mind. Being able to manage large bodies of people, being able to make decisions that benefit group of people, create job creation, opportunity creation. People can get paid for that. In socialism, you don't. You're gonna make the same as the person doing shit. So that kills ingenuity. That kills. What do you think a Black Messiah is? What is it gonna be? It's gonna be a creator, right? It's gonna be a creator. It's going to be an innovator. It's going to be a beautiful mind. Messianic force is a mental thing. It's a thinking. Being able to look at something and see the ending of it. It's a forward evolution of the species. You're going to give that up in exchange for comfort. Not everybody, but a lot of people are. That's where we're going. Now, shoot.
Yeah, somebody in my chat, because I'm on IG Live too. They asked, "What do you think about a mass migration to the motherland?"
Why go if you're not going to go there with American gods? What's the point of going? What's the point of going?
I mean, speak to that. You know specifically what you're hitting on when you say that.
if human beings go to another planet, we're going to take our ideals with us and put our ideals, or put that planet in the form of, and create that planet based on our ideals. You see that with Transformers. They're trying to bring Cybertron here, right? Every being in Marvel, it always tries to create a new fucking world, right? Only the black man will go to Africa and do what they do. Everything else is a colonizer. Everything else. Now, why is that important? Why is colonization important? Because it says something about the species. Because if you don't colonize, you get colonized, right? So just think of the American black man's story. The American black man's story as a whole has no storyline that you conquered another group of people and took their women. You need that part of your story. You conquered another group of people and put your gods as and converted them to your gods. You need that story.
We don't got that narrative.
Japanese.
We don't have a narrative almost of no aggression when it comes to anything adversarial outside of the confines of the cage that, you know what I'm saying, we've been locked in. I mean, what the fuck you think a hood is? That shit is a cage. But you know, because when you have anger and frustration in you and it's bottled up and you don't have an outlet from it, you're gonna start cannibalizing yourself, especially if you put those two individuals in a cage. They're gonna turn into animals. You know what I'm saying? So, and hence the fact that, like I said, you can't tell me one day out of 400, not one entire day from sun up to sundown, where there has been foots and hands put on the adversary. We don't celebrate it. We don't talk about it. We know of no day. So you've been here for 400 years and haven't lifted a finger to any adversarial force, but we got a whole culture for ops like us. If we lost 1,000,000 something people, it wasn't in a war against, you know, the oppressor, right? It was for us to acquire finances and capitalism for us to go and buy shit that white folks got, so we can feel right, so we can feel closer to the ideal of what Americanism entails. It is deeply embedded in us, and until we confront it, you're spinning your wheels and you're lying to yourself, and you're gonna find yourself in a position, like he said, that they're gonna tell you, don't even come outside. Shit, we're gonna bring you some VR, right? Yeah. Mark Zuckerberg's gonna make a donation of 1 million Oculus glasses, and we want you to work in virtual, and we're just gonna direct deposit the money to you. It's gonna be virtual money, right? We're gonna hook this IV up to your arm. You don't gotta eat. We'll feed you. We're gonna send the IVs to you because it's gonna be a food shortage. Where are you gonna get food from? The government's gonna have to feed you. The government's gonna have to win because the old clothing is not gonna work no more, because they're gonna be like, shit, we don't, all that old clothing gotta go. That shit might have corona in it. So we're gonna provide your rations, like just like you if in a Bing. You get 3 outfits, you know what I'm saying? We swap them out on laundry day. You're gonna get this commissary money, you feel me? And you're gonna get to come out and to wash.
You're gonna be good.
And people are gonna sign up for that. And you're gonna be like, and you could be in VR. When you finish doing your work in VR, you can go and play games. Fuck going to an NBA game. You can be in an NBA game. Niggas gonna be like, sign me up.
Yo,
I've been
Ready
practicing.
Player One, yo. Ready Player One. Ready Player One. Ready Player One, yo. Facts. You know what I'm saying? So you need us. Okay, the British Empire is arguably the largest empire that ever existed, extending all the way to Australia, bro. You know how far England is from Australia, fam? How you own land over there, bro? Right? The tentacles of Great Britain was all over this planet, fam. Genghis Khan tried to do the same thing. Yo, you know how many bodies Attila the Hun has? The problem with the American black is the American black has been educated by liberal whites to take the American black away from competition. This is why the American black don't know generals. That's important, yo.
What you mean by that?
Okay, we know Napoleon. Yo, let's
we know
who?
We know General Sarah Suit and Seti. I got things will go to that, man.
Yeah, all that. You know what I'm saying? So that's important, right? Because you know Napoleon, the first president of New America after the Articles of Federation was who? George Washington. Who was George Washington? A general.
General.
Right? What is the book The Art of War about? Military strategy.
Facts.
Right? America holds dear to capitalism and warriors. You get awards for bodies, fam. Right? The game of football is about war. Look at the special team are the archers, fam. Look at how it's designed. The game of chess, that's based on war. Look at Troy. The thing about T'Challa was not Achilles, fam. No disrespect to T'Challa, because I know that was good visuals for the young people. But he ain't Achilles, though.
T'Challa.
Feel me? He was peaceful. You need that part of your story. Why am I saying this? Because to answer the person's question about going to Africa, what for? What for? So you could put on a dashiki, no disrespect. But you're part of the new world, American gods. If you're not gonna go recreate American gods elsewhere, stay your black ass where you at. Straight up. Because man on this planet, our rite of passage a lot of times, we found ourselves in war. If you can't go to war with another man, you go to war based on the hero's journey. You go to war with yourself to conquer your base urges, yo. But it's about, listen to what I'm saying. We can't tell a story of black men in America going to any other nation around the world, conquering them and creating culture. We tell stories of that happening to us. We're literally mad at white people for doing what mankind does. Yeah, you slaved me. That's not new. That was an institution. You took my shit. That's what men do to each other. This wasn't a utopian society. The only reason the African lost was technology. That's it. Those men were fighting for their lives. The white man didn't steal shit from the Native American. The white man had a gun. Don't take their warrior story away from them. Talking about they got it stolen, that means they did nothing. They were fighting. The Comanche. They fought, man. Look up Comanche. The United States government had to bring in shit like the Gatling gun for these people. They were getting messed up. Oh, you crazy? Don't talk about the white man stole their land. That's that welfare shit you putting on them because you taking their story away and you're bigging up. It's only a thing of technology because what you're saying is the white man has just been a straight bully and everybody has just gave up their goods. Man, people fought. They died in war. That's honorable to say that.
The white man got gunpowder.
That's it, bro. That's it.
1400. And Ra Ku says that was the signaling of the beginning of the Aquarian age. White he has superior technology. And that is how he was able to come out of the confines of Europe where the Moors had him. Okay. So that was the difference, you know.
That's it. That's it.
And now they're fighting quantum supremacy, you know. And now that new weapon, or that superior weapon, is the quantum computer, right? and they're fighting that war, losing initially to China. You know?
And so, just to answer that question, this conversation is about the new world and our role and position in the new world, because we are catching it in its infancy. We're not born into it, we're living through it. So what is our responsibility personally in that new world? If I go to Brazil, I'm bringing Nipsey Hussle with me. I'm bringing my saints with me. I'm bringing Jay-Z with me. I'm bringing Allen Iverson with me. I'm bringing Carl Kanai with me. You feel me? I'm bringing, it sounds funny, but I'm bringing J.J. Evans with me, because you need a heckler god too.
Facts.
I'm bringing that with me. Or why go? Why go? Why go?
And what you going?
Might as well stay here and sign a contract. The motherland is wherever you are, yo. The motherland is wherever you are. You're a creator, right? You're the motherland. You are walking the motherland. It's you. You got feet though. You know where. See, the thing about the motherland is you can't be found, yo. You everywhere. So why go over there if you're not going to create the culture? That's old, guys. That's old world shit. But everybody can't go though. Some people need them old guys. Some people need to be told what to do. Some people need to be bossed around. No, just like some people are entrepreneurs and some people 9 to 5. It's not a right or wrong. However, historically, the worst crime that could happen to a human is that they die and no one remember their name. That's hell. Because you need people here to say your name.
It's a fact.
Right? You want to kill someone? Erase their name. When we watched the movie Troy, Achilles was laid out with the vision of his life, right? Which is part of the hero's journey. And all of us are going to have those crossroads too. If you go to war, your name will be remembered throughout the annals of history. They're going to talk about your military strategy. People are going to study you. You know, you're going to be loved and revered by many people. But if you go, you're done. You're dead. Or you can stay here, have a wife and children, and they're going to love you. And they're going to have children, and your grandchildren are going to love you. But after they die, no one's going to remember their name. What do you pick? You pick. Do you pick true love in exchange for your name living forever? You pick that particular job that has nothing to do with your purpose in exchange for whatever's calling you to live forever? What do? You a woman and your family is pressuring you to have a baby. Do you have a baby in exchange for living forever? Living forever is not bloodline. Bloodline ain't shit. It's name. Everything is name. Because name is is like the bloodline of the words. It's the blood. That's the blood that we're all exchanging. People got masks on because what? They don't want breath to get on them. Right? We're in the new world. What are you going to do? Because here's your opportunity. Because if you don't move on it, then you begin what? You have to live out the ideals of other people, because there is a new normal that's coming. Are we going to be a part of the new normal? Are we going to be living someone else's normal, or are we going to create what's normal? We should be in the advanced class now, where we're the tastemakers. We say what's hot, what's not, or not. You're going to let someone else come to you and tell you this is hot? You're going to keep letting other people come tell you what this is and what that is? Or are we, not everybody, because everybody can't go, but for those that understand the new world, you say what's a go and what's not. It matters what you believe. You make the gods, yo. You make the gods. I'm not going to wear a mask and gloves out here until the government physically makes me by law. I ain't trying to go to jail. So I'll wear it if it's a law. I'm gonna respect the law, like the Moors taught. Respect the law. I don't gotta agree with it. But if I'm on my choice, my gods grant me safe passage. I believe in Nip Hustle, right? If anyone want to know who my Jesus is, it's Nip Hustle. I'm gonna be the person online to say it because Nip Hustle is the genius of tomorrow. Calling it right now. It don't matter what y'all say, it matters what I say. And I'm telling you that Nip Hustle is the God, is the genius of your grandchildren, grandchildren, grandchildren. Take it or leave it. Just like Farrakhan had a dream about the wheel, he said, take it or leave it, take it or leave it. Kobe Bryant is the father of tomorrow. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it.
So you're saying that these are going to be the iconic, deified archetypes that will occupy that in the future, in the mind's eyes of our children in particular, who will carry this post over the goal line. Touchdown.
I'm saying that. I'm saying that Jesus does not live 500 years from now. Only in it'll be a private sect that do that. But it's gonna be based on sun worship though, like it was before. It'll be in its Gnostic origin. The name of Jesus will get lost. Yo, there's a show on Apple TV. It's called C. I advise everybody to watch that and watch how easy it is for gods to change. It could change in one generation. It's very simple. It's very simple. All you have to do is control what the children think, and those gods are done. If I take your baby away from you, and I give your baby my God, your baby is going to say what I say. Facts. Facts. Remove a child from his mother, slavery, make it think what I think. We don't care what you think. They're going to think that. Remember, generation only 30 years. It only takes 30 years to make a full-grown man. That ain't shit. I'm 36. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. So the gods of tomorrow is going to represent where we want to go, right? Me personally, if I got a deity, my deity wants me in good health. I don't got to be a slave to it. You know what I'm saying? My deity want me to ball the fuck out while I'm on America. They want me to have things. They want me to look good. They want me to live right. My deity is not going to curse me. That's my deity. My deity can evolve and be corrected. Crazy? My deity wants my friends to live well, right? My deity is going to solve my problems quicker than Google. My deities are rooting for me. They're not cursing me every fucking 500 years. And then I got to find new blood sacrifices to give to the deity. That's old world shit. Let it all wash away, yo. Let the jealousy wash away. Let the depression wash away, yo. It doesn't work, yo. Let's give it up. Let the conflict between the genders go. It doesn't even matter. Let's live forever, yo. Why not? That's the next destiny, to conquer death. Let's get these thousands on, because that's what it's going to take for you to really know this planet. You need 1,000 years, bro. You ain't seen all the butterflies, fam. You know what I'm saying? It's still places to go. It's still things to see. It's still things to do. That's that black arrogance I'm talking about. Black arrogance is new world thinking. And it's no diss to black people. It's just a love for myself. No diss. No diss. But I'm not being humble. I'm going to be respectful. I'm going to be tactful. I'm gonna know the art of timing, knowing when to come, knowing when to go, knowing when it's my place. But you can't control what I think about myself. That's a personal thing. You don't even see the thought. You know what I'm saying? New gods, new language, new relationship dynamics, new ways to engage each other. Listen, laugh, yo. Love with no guard up, yo. Love with no guard. Fuck it, I'm head first. Whatever happens, happens. That part. That part. Or why are we here, yo? If we're not gonna total grab this thing by, yo, why are we here?
What's the future that you see of relationships once people get, or if people get conditioned and acclimated to social distancing? What does digital relationships look like?
No rules. Once people get over the fear of what other people think about them, see, that's what social distancing is going to do, though. It's actually going to keep people out your business, and people are going to really do what they want to do. You're going to see you're going to see interesting dynamics. 4 women with 3 dudes, 3 gay people together. You're going to see everything. A man with 4 women, that's going to be nothing. That's old world thinking. Okay, so what people in the old world, what people are saying is, how can one person, all these people share that one person? But the interesting thing is, billions of people share one God. Now, isn't that something you want to keep personal? I'm not sharing my God. That's my thing. I'm not talking about the earthly shit like nit shit. That's concepts. I'm talking about my other self. That's my God. I'm not sharing that with nobody. That's me. That's my voice, right? But what people are saying is that those people that make that decision to go in that direction don't know value. Women sharing a man, people be like, the woman got low self-esteem. What if he's valuable? What if she's valuable? What if that there are fucking valuable people on the world that in their life is going to look different than yours? But in the new world, it's not going to be nothing, yo. In the new world, yo, people going to live and let die, yo, in terms of relationship. When I'm with you, I'm with you. When I'm not, I'm not. I don't own you. I don't want to own you. I don't want to tell you what to do. I just want to spend time with you because I enjoy your company. I think you're dope. What happened to just thinking someone's dope? And just being in their presence, you like, yo, you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. I ain't even thinking when you're not with me. I'm only concerned with this moment right now. Yo, bro, in the new world, that's what we're going to value, this moment right now. You got people arguing who built the pyramids. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? I'm not going to argue about dead people. They're dead. I'm alive. A living dog is better than a dead lion. Hey, I'm here. Y'all keep talking about your legacy. I'll forget to build my own shit. Better be careful. You know what I'm saying? You better be careful. You know, so the new world is the relationships are gonna look different. In the new world, you know, people are going to understand value. You know what I'm saying? In the new world, people are gonna really, really, really take the concept of love to another level, yo. In the new world. You know what I'm saying? That's what I see in a relationship dynamic. We're going to slowly walk there. It's going to come with a lot of judgment. But in the new world, people are going to be confident in who they are, and they're not going to care about the opinions of others, especially people that won't get recorded in history. Imagine living a life that you're trying to please people that are non-essential in the storyline of man. Yeah. That's what I see in new relationships. Did I lose the homie? Bro, I cut off. So I don't know. I'll hold it down until we come back. In the new world, the new world is about creating new gods, creating new systems. The new world is about changing your mind about life. I've been wrong about a lot of things, and I want to leave it in the new world. A lot of those ideals, a lot of those thoughts wasn't even mine. You know what I'm saying? Just was part of the herd. You know what I'm saying? I seen people over there and I went over there and I started rocking out and it was part of the herd. But life ain't about that though. You know what I'm saying? Life is about transformation. And we got that opportunity now with the new world. Again, everybody's not gonna go though, right? Everybody's not gonna go. Everybody's not gonna be affiliated. Everyone's not gonna, and that's fine, yo. See, part of the new world philosophy is you live and let die. If you don't think like me, that's fine. That's your birthright. That's your business if you keep coming back to the planet. That's your soul, not mine, right? In the old world, we police people's soul. You know what I'm saying? We want to put them in heaven and put them to hell. That's the old world philosophy. The new world philosophy is you let it be, right? And you understand it based on what it is, yo. And you just leave that alone and let that rock. You know what I'm saying? That's what I see for the relationship dynamics in terms of business. I don't always know what that look like in the future. You know what I'm saying? Probably some form of bartering or whatever. I don't know in the realms of business or whatever. Or we'll figure out and put value on the things that we want to trade. Capitalism in this form is done. The businesses that left won't be back. Everything is new. And if we need to take advantage of this opportunity right now, because you'll never get it again in your lifetime. After this, you're going to be living someone else's normal. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened to the homie. So, you know what I mean? I ain't even really got too much to say on those matters anymore. It's just is what it is. And yo, good luck to everybody out there. Good luck. And the hate that you got in your heart, the jealousy that you got in the heart, any unresolved things that you got, let it go. I ain't saying you got to kiss ass and reach out to nobody. But if people want to come talk and chop it up and say sorry, practice the art of allowing. Y'all ain't got to be buddy buddy, none of that shit, but get it off you because it can't go in the new world. The coronavirus is attacking all sickness, not just in the body, but in the mind too. If you got fear in you, if you got hatred in you, jealousy in you, you got petty in you, it's coming for you. And that's good because we all need a baptism and we all need to be white clean because we some filthy motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So on that note, I'm gonna hop out the chat. You know what I'm saying? You see the cash app because one thing for sure, two things about me. I'm changing a lot in the new world, but I'm not changing in terms of getting paid. In the old world, I was about getting paid. In the new world, I'm about getting paid, and you gonna pay. You know what I'm saying? Or one thing about the new world, I'm gonna find the crowd that's gonna pay me what I think I'm worth. You know what I'm saying? And you should do the same thing. So on that note, Tough Talk Tuesday. I don't know what happened to the homie. Hopefully all is good. You know what I mean? I'm gonna slide out the chat and y'all be blessed, yo. See y'all on the other side. Peace.
Peace, y'all. Yeah, I don't know what happened. My computer kind of shut down and it pushed me out. You feel me? But I had to refresh and restart my computer. Now I'm back in the building. All right. So yes, the brother he cooked the wires tonight. You know what I'm saying? He gave a very thorough dissertation. I want to thank you to everybody that joined us on this beautiful evening. If you haven't already, get outside and see that moon. The moon is beautiful. Somebody sent some pictures over. All right. So I'm about to go spend some time in nature before I call it a wrap. I want to say thank you. All right. Please, yeah, I see that y'all still here. Salute to y'all. Salute to that level of dedication. You know, the brother gave you a lot of food. You know what I'm saying? A lot to digest. I don't want to overextend it. I don't want to overdo it. We're at the 2 hour mark. I feel like we was probably here for 4 hours already. That's how much information, how much dense info was shared this evening. So I do say thank you. I honor you. I appreciate you. Your time is important, and the time that you spend with us is valuable. And we will always return that value for that time spent. All right. But you could add some value, hit that cash app, show that brother, your appreciation and your love. Shout out to Empress B444, always checking on us. Okay, but yeah, taking the moon, meditate this evening. You know what I'm saying? Wake up tomorrow, meditate. You know what I'm saying? Do your appreciations, whatever, however you give it up, and really dig in. Take this information to heart and make some decisions in your life about where you're at and where things are headed. Have prophetic vision. Think about 3 weeks, 2 months, a year ahead if need be, right? Allow your mind to go into this imaginary phase. Write it down and then go back later and see how, see what you got right, see what you got wrong. But allow your prophetic vision to be your direction, right? Allow that to navigate you through this. Allow that to be your GPS that's going to navigate you through uncertain quote unquote times. All right. So it's time for you to dig in. It's time for you to remove the blinds and take personal stock. All right. In this future that we all have a part to play in. Peace, love, and light.